President Biden has called recent nuclear threats from Russian officials irresponsible. And this morning, with North Korea poised to test a nuclear weapon for the first time in 5 years, the administration says it is prepared for any contingency. The U.S. still has thousands of strategic nuclear weapons in its arsenal, 70% of them on submarines. We spent 24 hours in the Pacific with exclusive access inside one of America's nuclear-armed ballistic missile submarines.
It is a mesmerizing sight. The USS Maine, normally unseen and undetectable, briefly surfacing off the coast of Hawaii. Stretching the length of 2 football fields, it is the most destructive warship ever built, bristling with nuclear-tipped ballistic missiles.
Raptor Guardian, if you can you guys come a mile northwest of rendezvous spot, please?
And all along there, all those squares are missile hatches.
Those are missile hatches, and I'll walk you on board of those, but there's 12 on this side, on the starboard side, and 12 on the port side.
Vice Admiral Bill Houston is the commander of U.S. submarine forces, granting us exclusive access to this warship as tensions around the world grow.
We're in unprecedented times. When you take a look at the Cold War, it was United States and the Soviet Union as 2 nuclear competitors, potential adversaries. What you have now is you have China and Russia are near nuclear peer competitors against the United States.
But Houston's mission has not changed. Deterrence. There are 20 ballistic missiles in these orange launch tubes, topped with nuclear warheads. Lots of them, 12 each, meaning 240 nuclear weapons. Quite the deterrent.
We're out here to prevent nuclear war. That's what we're doing day to day.
7-0. 7-2.
And preventing war means practicing for one.
Dive.
Below deck, now hundreds of feet deep in the Pacific, the crew simulates a nuclear launch. An adversary has attacked with a strategic nuclear weapon, and the president in this exercise has ordered this submarine crew to respond.
Authorized entry into the training CIP key safe has been granted.
2 junior officers open a safe containing the key for this simulation. The trigger is pulled, the exercise a success. In February of 2020, an unarmed ballistic missile, aimed like all those on board at isolated ocean areas, was test launched off this very submarine. Missiles capable of traveling up to 4,000 miles to pinpoint a target.
We can put it inside a baseball stadium, and with the destructive power that you can carry on one of those missiles, it's very, very capable.
Commander Darren Gerhardt has been on board during a test launch.
It's pretty incredible when you're near it because just the amount of energy necessary to lift that missile causes the entire deck to lift up and vibrate as that weight of the missile is leaving the submarine. Just hearing and feeling that raw energy as it's pushing that missile out of the ship and into its launch trajectory is just incredible.
The destructive power not lost on this very young crew who literally hold the key to missile launches. When you hold that key, even though you're simulating it, do you think how serious a job that is and what could happen?
It is pretty crazy, but the gravity of the situation is not ever lost. It is really sobering to think about the implications of what that key actually does. But I mean, that's why we're here. That's why we train. 25-year-old Joseph Lacusano is in the missile technician division. He says his family worries when tensions are high and pepper him with questions when his deployments are over.
All the good stuff I unfortunately can't tell them. I just tell them, what a normal day is like and stuff like that. But I always tell them, all the good stuff is unfortunately classified. So I can't really discuss the fun stuff in my job.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom.
But what passes for a normal day on this submarine is far from it. This is the berthing area where all of the sailors sleep 9 to a bunk crew. But in between, these are the tubes where the ballistic missiles are stored. And that very small sleeping space, 9 to a bunk room, affords almost zero privacy. Meals for enlisted sailors in this mess hall are communal, and there are no phones, no televisions, only occasional use of email. And the submariners can remain submerged for months at a time.
Is there a type that have to be submariners?
We do a lot of effort to screen out individual personalities that might not make it well underway before they even get through the training pipeline.
But almost everyone on this submarine volunteered for this kind of work that gets more challenging every day.
Vladimir Putin has made these veiled threats and rattled the nuclear saber in particular.
First of all, we just characterize his comments as dangerous, irresponsible, and as a career submarine officer whose profession is deterrence, I'd say it's unprofessional. And so when I talk about it, it doesn't matter what type of nuclear weapon you're talking about. The crossing of any nuclear threshold is significant.
A threshold Houston and this crew are determined will never be crossed.
Our thanks to the crew of the USS Maine. We should note the Navy did screen our video before we left the submarine to ensure no images contained classified material.